This is Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell on the Forge Audio Network.
Forge fans, another episode of Forge Daily. Today is May 25th, 2023. I'm your host, Mackenzie Barwell, here to give you all things Forge. Last night, the semifinal of the Canadian Championship went down at Stade Saputo, and after a very close first half, CF Montreal ultimately coming out on top in a 2-0 victory, handing Forge FC their first loss of the season. In today's episode, we are going to unpack what went wrong last night, but also what went right, and then we'll shift to Saturday's matchup against Atletico Ottawa, as Forge FC got to turn their focus back to the CPL regular season. But first, let's talk about what went down yesterday in Montreal. The first 45 minutes of yesterday's matchup was referred to on the broadcast as a tactical chess match, so that should paint the picture for you, both teams being pretty stubborn and sticking to their style of play. I believe possession was around 60 to 40% for Montreal, but even still, you couldn't argue that one team was completely dictating the match at that point. So 0-0 going into halftime. Shortly after, in the 55th minute, Montreal is the first to put one in the back of the net, off an unfortunate deflection from Aboubacar. And we heard from Coach Bobby in the post-match press conference, and he made an interesting comment about how the first goal of a match, especially in a knockout round like the Canadian Championship, it changes a lot about not only the direction but overall energy of the game. So here's a clip of some words from Coach Bobby following yesterday's match.
Yeah, I think the first 45 minutes were very good. The game was under control. In both phases, we had more of the clear-cut opportunities in that half, and in our low block, we were very good in pushing them to the outsides and making sure we limit the space inside to Miljevic and Duke in the most part. And the second half, it's normal. I think it started in the same way. It's tough when you give up a goal in that manner. You know, you look at the shot right now in the replay, and it's either rolling to our defender's feet or into the keeper's hands. And you see after that, the team is a little bit down for 10 minutes. It's a tough one. When you're looking at games like this that are knockout games, the first goal makes a big difference. It plays a big mental challenge on any of the teams. And I think, you know, after that, we settled in, and then we've just made a pretty bad mistake on the second goal that allows that one to go in. Makes the night tough. You're playing in Montreal, where the team is very good, playing at home on their home pitch. But I'm proud of the group overall. I think we've created opportunities. We've done some good stuff, and that's cup football. You just move on.
78th minute comes along, and Sanusi Ibrahim would score to put Montreal ahead 2-0. He's now scored 5 goals in 5 Canadian Championship matches, and is currently tied with another top scorer in the competition. You have to give full credit to Montreal. They remained consistent and composed for the entirety of the match. And hey, we know they're a talented group. Forge FC have 4 players that have actually been a part of CF Montreal: Kyle Becker, David Chouanier, Wubens Pacias, and Garvin Metusala. So CF Montreal advancing to the final of the Canadian Championship against the Vancouver Whitecaps, who defeated Pacific last night in a 3-0 victory. Neither CPL team will move on. However, still opportunities for Forge to secure a spot in the CONCACAF Champions League by either finishing first in the regular season or winning playoffs. In all competitions now in 2023, Forge hold a record of 5 wins, 1 loss, and 3 draws. And despite the outcome, Coach Bobby sounding content after the match. Not completely satisfied, of course, but still proud of his team. Razor Rama displayed a strong defensive performance with 5 tackles, and just in general stayed composed, had a solid first touch throughout the entire match. Also a good showing from David Chouanier, who played against his former club and brother. And lastly, Tristan Henry finished the match with 4 saves and kept Forge alive a few times in some crucial moments after that first goal in the 55th minute. One save genuinely looked like he was flying. I think one of the broadcasters said he appeared to be defying gravity, and I'm not going to argue with that. I was able to ask him and Aboubacar Sissoko a few questions. Here were their thoughts on last night's match.
It was tough. I think we played well in the first half, and we started the second half pretty well, and I think just the way that goal went in kind of broke our spirits a little bit. But yeah, I think we had a tough stretch after that, but I think we put a good effort in, but came up short. I think you have to forget about it and move on. I think, like you said, it was a tough loss for us. we went up against a really good team, but yeah, we have to shift our focus now and focus on the league that we've been doing well in.
Okay, honestly, last night we showed up. The first half was really good. The second half, because of some fatigue, it was tough. But honestly, overall, we gave a good performance. This year, we had we were more calm, and then we followed the game plan, from the start to at the end. And then honestly, this was the biggest difference, and we can see it on the pitch. We had some chances yesterday. We learned a lot because we played against the MLS team. So we're gonna take what we learned yesterday, and then put it all together to have a result against Ottawa. So honestly, when you lose the game, it's not good to lose the game, but you have to switch off and then think about the next game and then try to have 3 points.
Forge FC now driving down to Ottawa for this weekend's game on Saturday. And like Henry said, they'll have to shake off this loss if they want to stay at the top of the table in the CPL. But we'll get into that a little bit more in tomorrow's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you then.
This has been Forge Daily with Mackenzie Barwell. If you like what you heard, please like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share.